All right, Bank. Today is Thursday. It is October 19th. Welcome to the Dog Walk presented by Barstool Sports. In studio guest today, I am here with gambling extraordinaire Marco Piemonte, our car guy. I mean, I don't want you to lose the Piemonte car guy thing.
I am a car guy.
Because as a Chicago guy, like Piemonte and cars is so synonymous. Mm-hmm. So like, while I respect your gambling acumen and what you've built for yourself, I don't want the Piemonte name to go away from cars.
I appreciate that. Yeah,
okay.
no, cars come first. I'll tell you that.
All right, good. I'm happy to hear that. In a weird way, even though like I love that you're in this world.
Yeah.
But it's good. So how's it going, dude? This is a long time coming.
It is. First off, so excited to be here. Eddie is the best in the world, and he didn't pay me to say that either. I actually mean that sincerely. But yeah, I'm just excited to come. I'm glad you texted me, honestly.
No, yeah, I'm happy to. Also, you're like going to be one of the last ones in the old office. You definitely got to come to the new office.
They said I wasn't classy enough for the new office. They said Marco's white trash. Let's bring him to the old spot.
Yeah, the guy who is our second Rolls Royce in our parking lot was not classy enough to come. You heard that here. You're right.
Ball buster.
Hey, let's take a second here to talk about RHOBACK. Listen, Chief, we talked about it in yesterday's episode. It is now my mission to get you one of these RHOBACK crew necks.
I need it.
And RHOBACK they're so generous with the gear.
Yep.
They will absolutely get you one. I'm excited to try one out myself. And you should try one out if you're listening. We got a nice promo code here. The promo code with RHOBACK as well, they cut them off at the end of the week. So this is the last day of the week. You gotta act. You gotta act. You gotta get one of these performance crew necks, both in men and women's sizes. They're breathable, soft, comfortable. Same thing with the performance hoodies. Mm-hmm. We said great things about it yesterday.
Yep.
Stand still today. Nothing changed in 24 hours. Mm-hmm. So go get a performance hoodie, crew neck, or obviously, we love the joggers.
Yeah,
the joggers are
great. I just got a pair.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
Good. That's nice. Mm-hmm. White Sox Davey's shirt is spill all over his shirt, but those joggers are always pristine for him.
Well, and look, we were doing this a week or two ago, and Dave was like, I meant to wear some RHOBACK today. God damn it. And then he realized he was wearing the joggers. Yeah, good way through the ad.
Exactly. So kick off your fall right and use code DOG on RHOBACK.com for 20% off your first purchase through the end of this week. That's spelled RHOBACK.com. That's 20% off all performance hoodies, crew necks, joggers, and more with code DOG. All right, let's hop back in. But anyways, dude, so for people that don't know Marco, you blew up, what was it, 2 years ago?
Yeah, about 2 years ago, was at my house betting sports, and my friends were like, instead of you just betting and like showing us, you should just start posting it. And that's what I started doing, and it just kind of like snowballed from there. It's kind of been crazy.
Crazy is an understatement, dude.
To say the least.
Like, were you living this? So you're like you said, like you live a nice life.
Yeah.
Was that the case like before sports betting, or were you kind of?
Yeah, no, life. So I try to explain to people that sports betting to me was a hobby, and it was something that I was always pretty good at. And I just never really like broadcasted it, because when you think of car guy, you think of three things. And I want people to know, like, I always get accused of Marco is a drug addict. And I'm like, I've never done one drug in my life. The only thing I've done is weed. So when it's like car guy, cokehead, gambler, what a triple combo, like triple threat. I'm like, no. Guys, listen, I am a father of three. On Sundays is my disconnect. I love sports and football especially. And I happen to make a lot of money gambling, and it just seems to work that way.
Yeah, no, you absolutely do. I mean, you're throwing out whoppers every Sunday, Thursday, Monday, you name it. I don't think it's just Sunday, like he says, but he throws some whoppers. It doesn't matter the day. But honestly, let's start with the cars though. So how did you were born into the business? Mm-hmm. Like how? Like where's the dealer? You got dealerships all over the Chicagoland area.
So we have 9 makes, 7 locations. Okay. 6 of the locations are here in Chicago, Chicagoland area. 1 is in Sarasota, Florida. Mm-hmm. We just opened a Lincoln store down there. My mom and dad had a place down there, so we figured it would be good to start setting some roots in some different states. But I'll never leave Chicago, because Chicago is like I was telling you before we went on camera. I love this. Like, I love this area. I love the people, and I love the food. I would never leave, but I like to travel a little bit. So having a place down there is kind of nice.
That is nice.
Yeah.
It's always nice to have a little spot to go, right?
Yeah.
So your father is?
Al Piemonte.
Okay.
Started the dealerships in 1963. Mm-hmm. I always have to explain this to people. So Al Piemonte is technically my stepdad.
Okay.
He adopted me, though, when I was 7 years old. Okay. So it's the only dad that I know. I have got his ring on my necklace now.
Oh, no shit.
So I always have to explain it to people, because they're like, well, I heard, I'm like, yeah, well, what you heard is wrong. Al's my stepdad. He's my best friend. He's the dad that I always wanted, and I'm so happy I had. I could literally cry on camera talking about him right now, but he's like everything that I needed as a father growing up. Like, he helped me find the balance between friendship and how to raise my kids that I have now and be the man that I am today. Like, people only see like the psychopath side to me on Instagram. Like they don't get to see the father side. They don't get to see the friend side.
Yeah. That's so interesting because I can't even think of how car business guy is, because like what I see is on Instagram, and it's of you, you know, you're doing your thing. You're playing it's you, but you're playing an exaggerated content character like most people do online. Yeah. But that is interesting to see that you're, you know, there is of you in a different world that I kind of want to see that. I might just pop into a delership one of these days just to see, you know, how the sausage is made.
I dress the same exact way at the dealerships, which is a little bit taboo. So I've taken a new approach to the automotive business. Is I've tried to do things a little bit more laid back and not so stuffy. Like I want people to be able to come to a dealership and your kids are running around screaming. It's fine. Like let them run around and scream. Like I ran around the dealership screaming when I was a kid. Yeah. So for me, it's nice to see young ones around and not to mention like being in the Chicagoland area, we've sold over 10 million cars since 1963. And I want to say 7 million of them are here in Chicago. So being like that established in this area, like making sure that the roots stay family owned. Like I don't want to sell out to a corporate conglomerate. Like I want to keep the city. Like if that makes sense.
No, yeah. I mean, I born and raised here as well, so I appreciate the fuck out of that. Yeah. And it's, you know, for people that, if you're listening, we have listeners everywhere, but, you know, a large Chicago core who listen to the show, but, you know, it's like Al Piemonte, Bob Rohrman, like those were the guys who were really holding it down back in the day.
And you know what's crazy is Bob was one of the nicest, coolest guys ever. Yeah. My dad and him were good friends. They talked often. Funniest part is my wife was good friends with Bob Rohrman's daughter. Oh, no so shit. When we met, I'm like, yeah, you're no longer a Rohrman family. You're a Piemonte family, okay? Yeah. That's what you are.
You're getting your cars from here.
Yeah, and tell your mom and dad that's the case too. Yeah.
No, that's great. But how does it work then? Like, how does it, like, is there rivalries amongst families like that? Like, do you have a rival dealer? Like, no. You don't have to like get too much into it.
No, I mean, there's only there's no rivalry. I mean, it's a small group. Like there's only roughly 7,000 or 8,000 new car dealerships in the country. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to like rivalry, we just want everyone to be successful. The only time it gets a little weird is if it gets like toxic, right? Because in our industry, like advertising practices, they get a little weird. They get a little toxic. Like you'll see like one dealer say, well, we're going to sell it for $10,000 off. Then you go to the dealership and it's not 10,000 off. Mm-hmm. Like they just got you in the door to lie to you. And that's been the biggest, you know, issue or problem I've had.
Like kind of weeding out those dealerships.
Like guys, like you're making me look bad because my friends are like, hey, well, they're offering it 10,000 off. And then I have to send them there. You disappoint them. Then they come back to me with their tail between the legs. And I hate that. Like transparent pricing should just be a thing. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to, you know, work into that. But people just, you know what's sad is I'm starting to think people want to be lied to. Like they want to come into a dealership and fight, which I hate. Like I don't like confrontation. Like I'm Italian and Greek, but I hate confrontation. Yeah. I just don't want to do it.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't that kind of getting phased out too?
It is slowly. COVID kind of kicked that in the butt.
The negotiating? Yeah. Now, is that because of like the supply chain issues with the chip and there was just no...
You know, believe it or not, it's still bad. Like getting a car 5 years ago, I could tell you, hey, you want to order this car? Give me 12 weeks and I'll have your car here. Yeah. If you order a car now, especially with the strike going on, you might not see it for a year and a half.
Yeah, it's wild.
So imagine that. Like you need a car. That's why prices are high and then rates are high. Yeah. You know, life's tricky right now.
No, you're right. I had, I don't know if you follow this guy on Twitter. He's awesome. He's a car dealership guy.
Who?
I think that's just his name.
Oh, really?
He's anonymous, but he's anonymous.
I'm going to have to follow it.
Dude, he's fascinating. Like the way this, like I could sit here and talk cars all day. Like just the market and shit interests me, you know? But this guy, he's got like such a, he's anonymous, but he's somehow in the industry. But it's fascinating the way he's like all over it.
Yeah.
So you gotta
check him out.
No, honestly, I'm shocked.
I'm telling you, I stick with car guys all the time. If I meet a car guy on the road, like when we travel around, going to games, whatever it is, if they're car guys, like automatically, instantly connection. I'm like, oh, you're my family. Come here. Arm around the shoulder. You're my guy. Yeah. So
one thing I don't understand though about car dealerships, I was talking to Chief about it, is like if you sell a dealership, like what's the value you're getting from, because you're still just basically kind of a middleman in a sense, right?
So you own the franchise for that location. Okay. So let's just say, let's just talk slight numbers. I'm going off of a little bit of figuring. Yeah. A Jeep store in Naperville. Recently, a friend of mine purchased it about 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. I won't name names. I won't name exactly the store. Yeah. But he paid $50 million for the dealership. Okay. That includes the land. Okay. And the right for the franchise and all the other, nonsense, the tools, all the stuff. So dealership's evaluation goes off of earnings, and then it's called Blue Sky. Blue Sky is what it's worth times a certain amount. Each franchise has a different Blue Sky amount. So like some are 3x, 5x. Toyota store sometimes, or a Porsche store goes for 10x.
Oh, no shit.
So 10x earnings. And that's what they pay above and beyond what the book value of the store is. Selling is great, but what I always try and tell people is when my dad passed away, I had these corporate conglomerates come to me and say, hey, we know you just want to be yourself, and we'll buy you out right now. You don't ever have to work another day of your life. And I was like, yeah, that doesn't work for me. Like, I couldn't imagine waking up and not working.
Yeah.
Like, it would be depressing. So that's why I kept the dealerships going. Like I told you earlier, keep it family owned. And I don't recommend selling to people. Like, I don't recommend when family owned businesses sell, I am assuming it's because they don't have somebody to take over for them. Because it depresses me, because the taxes you pay immediately, you're paying taxes to the government.
Yeah.
So you're losing 30% of your money immediately, unless it's like capital gains, who knows? So that's tricky.
But don't they say most of the time it's like third or fourth generation then where things get spotty, because like
third generation is typically where it melts.
Yes, because like you saw how much blood, sweat, and tears your father put in. Yeah. Where it's like, if it keeps going, is that going to be the same?
I think that it all comes from how you raise your kids.
Yeah, for sure.
I hit like a little bit of what a lot of people don't know about me is they like, oh, Marco lived this like easy life. My dad was old school, and as soon as I got a little sideways, he shipped my ass to military school. I was in military school 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. I was in military school junior and senior year of high school. I went to IMG Academy and played baseball. That's a lot of people don't know that. So I was a pretty good athlete growing up. I would say I was a really good athlete growing up.
No joke.
But when I went to IMG, my grades dropped. So my mom and dad came, ripped me out by my hair, and put me on a plane and said, you're coming home. Like, it's over. Like, the joyride's over. And they dropped me off at military school, buzzed my head, got my ass beat for 2 more years. And that's kind of why, like, I didn't have, like, I always tell my friends, you got out of school and you got to go eat dinner with your parents. Me, I got out of school and I had to shine shoes. I had to do square corners. I had to do obstacle courses. I had to do JORTC stuff. I had to learn how to clean rifles. We didn't grow up the same.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, as soon as I got out of school, the lifestyle was really good, but it was just a pain in the ass what it was.
Did you go right into the car business?
I went to Northwood, which is automotive marketing and management. Okay. It's in Michigan. But I dropped out after a year. I said, this isn't for me. And I thought my dad was going to hire me right away. But this is when there was a little bit of a mini recession. It was like 08, 09. And he told me, you know what, if you're going to drop out, no problem. So I came home and he's like, where are you going to go get a job? I said, I thought you were going to hire me. He's like, no. I don't think you understand this. You dropped out, so you have to go get your own job. So I went and got a job at Schaumburg Toyota, and I worked there for 2 years.
No shit, he got rope-a-doped a little bit by the old man.
My dad's like, if you want to be a man, go be a man. Go make your money.
Yeah,
but I went and earned my stripes. I always say I worked with 60 other car salesmen on a sales floor.
Yeah.
I grinded it out. I would say I was a top 5 sales guy every month I was there.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was born into this business. A lot of people don't know is my mom was in this business, and that's how she met Al.
Oh, no shit.
So it's like, and my biological father's in the car business. So like, really? This is like only thing my body knows.
But don't you appreciate though that he did that, because then it gave you like, oh, there's Marco, he just got it handed down. No, you put your shit in.
When people tell me like, oh, you just get everything handed to you, I'm like, please, I'd give up all the millions and dollars and all the lifestyle to get my dad back in 5 seconds. Money means absolutely nothing to me. All I care about is my kids first, all 3 of my daughters, and then my mom and dad. Yeah. Like, it's literally how it works. I mean,
and maybe hitting a 3-teamer on a couple Sundays.
Hey, 7-teamer, cuz. 7-teamer, cuzzy. No, I'm telling you. You know what I'm trying to explain is gambling is my disconnect from the regular world. And I think that's the best way to put it.
And no, that's honestly why I wanted to have you on. I'm sure everyone thought we'd be sitting here talking parlays, talking, bullshit. But like, I'm so fascinated by you as a guy. And like where the root started, so
appreciate that.
It's a different angle, but like that's what I find fascinating. So then you hop in, and then you take over when.
So he brought me back in 2009. Everything was going really smooth. Life was good, and then when my dad got sick, it was kind of like if it wasn't for my mom, my dad would have died 10 years earlier. We had a chef in the house making sure that he was eating salt-free. We had to make sure that he went through a dialysis because he had cancer. So we went through a bunch of like toxic stuff with that. Like that was hard on the family. But when 2014 hit, my dad died on Christmas Eve of 2014. It was the worst Christmas ever. Like, I freaking hated it. I hated Christmas until my kids came along. But when I took over in 2014, it was with my mom. So my mom and I technically worked together. And my mom is my best friend. Like, I can go anywhere with her. She almost came with me today, to be honest with you. She's just an A+ person, A+ personality, and is always positive. Always. And at any point, I'm not myself. Like, I left Better. I think I told you that before we came. She was like, listen, you need to go back to the roots of, like, I know my son. And the son that I'm watching right now isn't the son that is, you're not the $1 million Marco that I know. Like, the Marco that I know films videos in his car, takes selfies of himself talking, nonsense. Yeah. And she's like, go back to your roots. And that's kind of what happened in 2014. My mom jumped in. I jumped in. People were trying to come at us from a million different angles. And what's sad is all the people that, like, you think are your friends. When my dad died, I realized a lot of these people were enemies. And they were just trying to take what they could. Yeah. And that was really hard. We sat in a lawsuit with one guy for over 2 years. And we finally were able to get him out of our way, but it costed us $9 million. Wow. And that guy was toxic. Like, he tried to paint me out to be some type of psychopath, like gun welding, rich kid. Not true at all. Like, I'm just a normal guy. He tried to, like, say that my mom was, a terrible operator. Like, he tried to tear our family apart. But my mom was so strong-willed because I mentally wasn't, like, at the ability. I wasn't talented enough to handle that. I was too emotional in that state in my life. My dad died. I felt really lost with who I was. And I was 24, 25. It was hard. Yeah. But I'm going to tell you, like, when we took over in 2014, my mom and I, we looked at each other and said, how can we make this better? How can we turn Al Piemonte into an auto group that's going to be here for the next 300 years? Yeah. What can we do right now? And she's like, well, we can control the next 60 years, you and I together. So I was like, all right, what do we do for the next 60 years? And she said, we're going to treat our employees even better than they've already been treated. We're going to make sure that everybody has food on the table, and we're going to make sure that everybody is happy. Because you might make a lot of money, but if you're not happy, you'll leave one day.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. Money means nothing if you're not happy.
Totally.
So we've done that. Like, our employees, I would trust in a room with a million employers trying to take them because they would say, I just like working with Marco and Rosanna. Rosanna's my mom. And I love that. Like, because without your employees, what are you? Like, I can't do it on my own. Yeah. So, like, I just love the people that work for us, and I wouldn't trade them for anything. Like, nothing.
Yeah, it's a good outlook, man. Because if you take you're managing 7 stores, you got to worry about so much shit. But if the people are genuinely happy, a lot of it takes care of itself. And that's just,
you know what people don't understand, Eddie? In the car business, I get stolen from every single day. Every single day I get stolen from. So in the automotive business, you pull your car into service. A friend of yours works at the dealership. Let's just say he's a service writer. Service writer goes, okay, hey, we'll charge this one to policy, right? But it's his friend. Like, it's not actually policy. Yeah. So policy is like when somebody comes in for an issue and we just fix it for free. Yeah. So it's like, hey, wait, how is this policy? Like, I have to look by that. I can't check every single RO. Like, it's physically not possible. Yeah. And nor do I want to. So every day that I wake up, I always say, how much am I okay being stolen from every single day? And as long as I manage the big stuff, like, I'm not getting destroyed, I'm like 100 here, 200 here, whatever. Because you just can't fight every battle. Now, when I catch it, I address it. I don't just throw someone out. I have a conversation. Like, for sure. What did you do? Well, it was my mom, she's struggling. Okay, next time that happens, I want you to come to me because I would have given it to your mom. Yeah. And then you wouldn't look like a thief right now. Yeah. Because right now you look like a thief. Now that you talked to me about it, now I get why you did it. You love your mom. Yeah. So it's like, that's the part about the car business people don't understand. Or let's talk about it like this. What kind of car do you have?
Me?
Yeah.
Tesla.
Okay. Boom. You take your Tesla over to the dealership. You trade it in. Let's say you buy a Jeep. Okay. We take your Tesla in for, I'm going to say $50,000. I'm just throwing a number out there. And you buy a Jeep that's worth $50,000. Done. You have a new Jeep. I own your car now for $50,000. My dealership says, well, hey, Marco, that car you took in for $50,000 is actually worth $55,000. We undervalued it. So I'm going to sell it to a friend of mine. No problem. They sell it to their friend for $52,000. Whoa, wait. It's worth $55,000. Why did you sell it for $52,000? Well, it was my friend. Well, time out. We're still a business. Yeah. Like, you hurt the business by not selling it for $55,000, because I could have sent it to the auction and sold it for $55,000 and not paid a commission, not done anything with it. So that's where the stealing comes. It's like kind of like inadvertent they're inadvertently stealing sometimes.
Yeah.
And
like little.
There's times where it's okay. Like,
Yeah.
take care of your mom, take care of your dad, take care of your brother, take care of your sister. But it's when they start doing it for themselves, that's when it turns tricky. Because I've watched it happen.
And there's like, taking a pack of gum versus, wheeling the whole Slurpee machine out of there. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta fucking, what are we doing? So.
I'm telling you something, our world is crazy. And I think that's why everyone's like, how do you handle the stress of gambling? I'm like, come hang out at a car dealership for 3 months and you're going to come out of there and say gambling's easy.
Yeah, for real, man. Dude, and especially because I think it's gone. Has the negative connotation gone away at all? Like, I think like the sleazy, like, they're just trying to get you.
The sleazy car guy thing is gone.
Yeah. Okay.
I would say it's gone in 75% of the business. Mm-hmm. Where it gets tricky is, I would say where it gets tricky is where you're trying to negotiate a deal on a car that's really hard to get. And the dealership's like, well, sorry, this has a market adjustment, which people don't understand, which I genuinely respect them not understanding that. It's just right now is a tricky time where I can't replace this car, right? Yeah. So what I've tried to do is I'll say, I will sell you this car without a market adjustment. All I ask you to do is order it. Will you please order the car? Like, I know it might take time, but like, I need to keep this one here so I can make the money on it. But if you order one and put your name on it, I'll never sell it to you for over MSRP. Mm-hmm. Like, that's against my beliefs.
Yeah.
So as long as people are patient, then things are smoother.
Yeah. That with Matilda, the Danny DeVito character, he really fucking did you guys in. He played a sleazy car.
You know what's funny is my daughter loves that movie and she thinks that's what the car business is. I'm trying to like change that. I'm doing everything I can to make sure that's not the case, but
I did. You know what I mean? I thought you guys, you ran the speedometer the other way, and that was just
that did happen back in the day, man. It really did,
dude. I'm sure.
It did.
Obviously, things are different, but all right, 2014. So you're gambling at 24. You're in your mid 20s though. Do
you want a little gambling history? I can kind of give you like a quick like.
Of course. I hope you maybe hit the Maywood track once in a while.
Of course. Okay. Little buggy races, buddy. Come on now. So here's what happened. In 2009, my gambling journey really took off. Mm-hmm. That's when Poker Stars and Full Tilt were legal. Mm-hmm. And I was like any other guy. I was relaxing, watching football on the couch, playing on Sunday, poker tournaments. And I ended up, I don't know, did you ever play on those?
I didn't.
You didn't?
I did not actually.
So at one time there was this tournament every Sunday. It was a $750,000 guaranteed prize pool, and it was $216 to join. Every Sunday I was in for $216, no matter what. This particular Sunday, I bought into a satellite tournament to get me into the main $216 tournament for $24. The $24 I bought in for got me into the tournament. Then into the tournament, I ended up coming in 4th place out of a crazy amount of people, and it paid $47,000.
Wow.
So my first big win gambling was $47,000 on Full Tilt Poker. I took the $47,000. I was dating this chick Jolene back in the day. I said, hey, we're going to Mexico. We're rich. Let's party. And what's funny is after that, I ended up like losing on sports, like a lot. So I probably gave back about $250,000 in sports over the course of 2009 to 2000 and probably 13. So I gave back about $50,000 a year, $60,000 a year.
And you're in your early 20s now, correct?
I'm in my early 20s. Okay. So I'm 34 now. Uh-huh. So in 2009, how old was I? 14 years ago. So I was 20, 21.
Yeah, about.
Yeah, and back then you're betting with a bookie, by the way. Like, that's the only thing that was legal back then. Mm-hmm. So I'm handing the bookie $10,000 here, $8,000 here. I was getting my ass beat, and it humbles you quick. But what I said was it was like an education for me. I learned all of the trends, and I have I don't learn unless I get like beat up, if that makes sense. So for every mistake I made, I learned, and that's kind of what I did. I feel like I invested in an education of hard knocks sports gambling.
Yeah.
And from 2013 to now, I've never had a negative year sports betting.
No shit, really?
I have never had a negative year sports betting from 13 to now.
Wow.
And it might be 14. I'm just giving you a rough idea. But I'm telling you, I have not been negative for roughly 10 years.
And now, do you credit that directly towards those hard years?
100%. Because like yesterday, for instance, like I didn't advertise this pick, but like a double-digit road dog traveling from the West Coast to the East Coast never performs well, and that's why I had the Browns. Mm-hmm. Like I took the Browns plus 9.5. I took the Browns money line.
Yeah.
I didn't hammer it as hard as I hammered like the New York Jets, but Like, I understand these weird statistical traits like that happen in sports and or trends, I should say. And that's kind of what I've done. Like that was the angle I've taken, and I've been totally okay going against the grain my whole life. And that's why this is okay for me. Like, I learned.
Now, obviously, someone who gambles and people who listen who gambled, and I'm sure you face a lot, bullshit. There's no way you haven't had a negative year. I've been following you, and I've heard enough about you where I believe you for sure.
Yeah.
But how often do you fight that? People who are always calling bullshit. Is it pretty frequent? People like to call you on it.
When I started going public with everything that I was doing, that's when the insults started coming out, and I handled those the best that I could. I'm respectful for one. I used to get like emotionally mad because I'm like, why do you think I'm lying? Like, I don't like, everyone's like, you work for the books. I'm like, who's cutting me a check? Like, I would love to get paid by these books. I don't. Like, who's paying me? I don't understand like where they come from. But I looked at it from like an outsider's perspective. When someone is losing all the time, and then you see me come along and I'm like, I haven't lost in 10 years. Like, I go through peaks and valleys.
Yeah.
Like, this year I'm probably about even. Roughly, I might be down 150 grand roughly this year.
Yeah.
And I got my ass kicked for baseball. Like, I lost over 2 million betting baseball this year.
Really?
Yeah. Like, no doubt about it.
I mean,
like,
they say what a really good gambler hits like 55%.
Yeah, I always say if you hit 60%, you're the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you would like when you say it's relative, right? When you say you're up.
Last year for football, I hit over 70% of my plays.
No shit.
No doubt about it.
Now, how do you calculate that?
And documented. Like, everything was on my show, everything.
Yeah.
I never, like, there wasn't, the funny part is nothing's hidden. So what I started doing I started to expose the people that would say this. I would say, come meet me. And I had people come to my house.
Really?
I had a guy that was calling me names that you wouldn't even say with your friends, like telling me that I should literally go jump off of like a bridge, like telling me the meanest shit in the world. And I shoot my show out of my house. So I said, and he's actually a guy that I talk to often now. His name's Ben. Ben lives in Elk Grove. Ben was telling me literally to hang myself, and now he's a good friend of mine.
Really?
I brought him to my house. I said, where are you so mad? Like, where did I hurt you? And he's like, well, I just think that you lie. I said, tell me where you think I lie. I broke down where. I showed him all my win-loss statements. I showed him all my stuff. And he didn't know what to say. He was in shock. And then I was like, hey, hold on. Allie, I called my wife. Allie, come here. Alexa, come here. I grabbed all my kids. I said, here's my wife. Here's my kids. Allie, am I positive or negative sports betting this year? My wife's a nurse. She's like, he's positive, but it's annoying. Because my wife gets annoyed by all this sports betting stuff.
Yeah.
Like, because what happened is like our family used to just be able to post a picture of us out. But now we have to delay everything because we want to make sure that nobody knows that we're out of the house and nobody knows that, like, we have to black everything out where our kids go to school, and because you just never know nowadays. You have to be smart about it. So she gets annoyed by all this, but she knows that there's, I think the future is extremely bright for the knowledge that I know I can spread to people sports betting. Like, I never give anybody a pick that I don't personally bet myself. So when they lose, I lose too. Like, I'm just as mad.
Yeah. Which is important because so many people just throw shit off willy-nilly and they're like, yeah, like, sorry, we'll get them tomorrow. It's like, no. Like, actually, some people are, counting on your picks.
Eddie,
right?
You know what makes me really mad? People that sell picks.
Yeah.
If you sell sports picks, I think it's the dirtiest thing in the world because all you're doing is you're asking for someone's opinion and guess. I could give that out and get paid for it. I wouldn't take that money. It's dirty money to me. Like, I know it's an industry. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
What do you think about people that sell picks?
It's hard. One of my friends does it, obviously. I'm sure you guys know Stu. He does it, and he's been doing it forever. And it was his source of, income for, when there was no internet.
Was he good?
I don't know, to be completely honest with you. I can't verify his hit rate. That would be a fun podcast to have the three of us on.
I'd love to talk. Yes. I mean, you know why I struggle with the guys that sell picks is because I tend to see that they always lie. And it's hard. Like, I turn into the fan, right? I turn into the guy that hates on me. I'm like, bro, like, I deep down know that you didn't, like, I post my stuff before the games. I don't hide anything.
Yeah.
Like, You people dog me. Like yesterday when I posted I was betting the Jets, I got dogged. If you saw my inbox, you'd have to go to rehab for like to reset your system because you'd feel so bad about yourself, like the way that people talk. And then when the game's over, it's so funny to see them say sorry.
Yeah.
And that's the cool part. Like they're like, my bad, sorry to being a dick. I didn't think that was possible.
Yeah. Dude, it's fucking sports.
It's
NFL
sports.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Anything's possible.
But getting back into the history of sports betting, last year was my most profitable year ever. I netted over $10 million sports betting last year.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Now, are you, because you do a lot of parlays like we talked about. You go by Marco Piemonte, Marco Parlay.
Yeah.
Now, how do you count your record?
So I only count my record through straight plays. Parlays are, I always call them lotto tickets. I do not get to where I'm at betting just parlays.
Okay, so I guess maybe that's some confusion then.
I mean, I love
like,
parlays, but it's not my identity is parlay. Like Marco hits parlays, and I love parlays, but it's not like what I do, and that's not all I am. I'm a straight play guy, and then once I build up some profit, I fire with no remorse.
Yeah.
Like if I'm up, let's just say I go through on the 12 o'clock slate, and I'm up like, let's just say 60 grand. I'll take that 60. I'll divide it by 2. We'll do two $30,000 parlays to win $1 million and see what happens.
Yeah.
Because I'm not afraid to fire it. Like I'd rather be even than be up 60 grand. And I know that sounds crazy, but I'd rather go for that home run hit and try and get that, dopamine high than be up 60. What am I gonna do with 60 grand? Like in my head.
Yeah.
I know it sounds terrible, but
yeah, but it's all relative to you. Like,
right.
It's like, of course, someone listening might be like, "Oh, what a fucking asshole!"
No,
60 grand. It's all relative.
My unit size is between 50,000 and 100,000. So in my head, if I'm up a half a unit or if I'm up, 1 unit, I'm going to simply just fire it because it's a free roll for me. And this year maybe a little different because I've been a little cold. I'm gonna say. I already told you I'm probably down a little bit this year, but I'm 1,000% convinced by the end of December 31st, I will be positive because football season is just so easy for me.
Now, do you post your straight plays?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like on my show, I go through, I say, well, here's what I'm going to take. Here's where I'm leaning. Yesterday's slate, I went 10-3. I went 10 wins and 3 losses. I was this close because the 3 games that I lost, one was the Saints, which came down to like a drive to the end zone at the end of the game. The one was the Bears, lost by 6. I had them +3. Fields got hurt. That hurt my heart. And then what was the other one?
You said he won Cleveland. You won New York.
Yeah, one Cleveland, one New York. There was one other one. My brain's not even letting me work right now. But I went 10-3, and I honestly can't complain. It was a great day.
No, yeah, people would kill for that day. 10-3. You kidding me?
It was a great day. I can't lie.
All the shitty gamblers we have at the company I work at, people would fucking kill for a 10-3 day.
Do you want to know what's cool about sports betting though? Is I explain this to everybody. I celebrate everyone's win. Period. I don't care if it was a $5 parlay to win 150. I'm just as excited for that person as I am for the guy that won 150,000 because the numbers are all relative.
It's all,
and really I try to explain to people, like when somebody sent me 100,000 to one play and they hit it for $1, I was happier for them than I've ever been for myself. I'm like, bro, you hit 100,000 to one fucking bet. Like that's incredible. Like, do you know how cool that is?
It's awesome.
And I try and like pump those people up because like that's what the sports betting is. It's a hobby. And I tell you, bet within your means. Don't bet more than you could afford to lose. And that's the only part about gambling that scares me. And I try and educate as many people as I can. Please don't be dumb about it. Like this is literally, don't feel like you have to bet. There's games always tomorrow.
Yeah, you're right.
There's always something to bet. You don't need to be.
The no play is so much better than the play so many times.
Like sometimes I'll be honest with you, I'll jump on Call of Duty sometimes and not watch anything just so I don't gamble.
Yeah.
Because like sometimes I'm like, hey, it's time to get off, play some video games. My kids are in bed. I tuck them in. It's time to disconnect.
Yeah,
and my disconnect for me is gaming.
For sure.
Yeah.
And now, what do you think is your biggest strategy here? Is it watching the games? Is it just knowing the trends, like you said, like, hey, West Coast going to East Coast? Like I'm kind of like sniffing that kind of gambler shit out. You know what I mean by gambler shit.
Well, here, you'll never see me bet minus points favorite. So you'll never see me take a favorite minus like 14 ever.
Okay.
When I take a dog, I take them plus their points and their money line.
The Dolphins then? Is that the third one?
You know what? Thank you.
Okay.
I had the 13.5 on the Panthers.
All right.
Appreciate that. Yes, I lost the Dolphins. Yes.
I know.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
My brain was not functioning. You know why? That when I tried to zone that one out. So I live bet them plus 18. And I don't know if you've watched that game. They scored a touchdown at the end on 3rd and goal from the 9, and it freaking spun me into a negative mindset for the day.
Sorry to bring it back up.
No, it's okay.
Yeah,
I'm glad you did, actually, because that was the 3rd game, and I couldn't think of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you'll never see me take a favorite minus their points. You will see me sometimes.
Well, like a certain amount, though, right? Or you're saying regardless?
Certain amount. So any double-digit favorite, I'm probably not going to bet that
You're
game.
out.
I'm
Okay.
out. Like, it just doesn't, like, I'm not interested in that. If anything, I'm going to buy the dog up and, like, tease it up, instead. I do think that the future for sports betting is really simple. I think people should start messing with teasers when they get started. And by teasers, it means like you get like you could do a 13-point teaser.
Yeah, is it
meaning,
Sweetheart?
Yeah, it's 4 point. It's 4 teams, 13 points each, and you're able to literally pick 4 games. And if you're off by 13 points on a game, guess what? Like, just keep doing that until you get good at it, and then move on to the regular spreads. That'd be my suggestion for somebody new.
Yeah. So don't do it with college though, because those are fucked up. Do you do college at all?
I dabble in college. It is very difficult. I love live betting teams that were favorites that are down big to come back. Like, I like that. Also, the other night, I don't know if you watched the Stanford-Colorado game.
I was following.
Did anybody watch it?
I turned it off once it went 29-0.
So if you watched the second half, you saw the adjustments that Stanford made. If I wasn't at a party, some cocktail party in Hinsdale, which, by the way, was a great time. I'm going to tell you something. Some of these, rich old people know how to party.
Really?
Oh, man.
Hinsdale?
Eddie. I was in shock how wild these people are.
Really?
And when I tell you wild, I'm talking wild. Everything that people accuse me of doing on the internet, I saw at that party. That's all I'm going to say. These people are like, hey, whatever you need, I got it. I'm like, I'm good, man. Thanks. Like, I'm just going to smoke this pre-roll and you guys are good. I'm good. Thanks.
You just got trench coats full of drugs?
Bro, I'm going to tell you something. It's like insane to me
Really?
how hard these parents party.
Have you ever met the, you know what I'm fascinated by? The Beanie Baby guy.
Oh, yeah.
Have you met him?
I've never met him, but I won't lie to you. Very interesting.
He's like a top 5 richest guy in Chicago, and I think he lives in that
area.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder if I could find him.
Yeah, he's like, he's a big time guy, but he's like a recluse, from what I understand.
Really, just hides.
I think so, but I don't know. Like, what if you watch the documentary? I forget what it was called, like Beanie Mania. I don't know what it's called, but it was on HBO. It's fascinating. The guy is like, he's super well. He's a billionaire.
I'm going to tell you something. I grew up in Lake Forest, so I grew up in the North Shore, and now I live in Hinsdale. And it's public knowledge. You could Google it. So I just say it so openly. If you ask me to pick which area is nicer and better to live in, Hinsdale is way better than the North Shore.
Really?
Not even close.
But geographically.
But look at me. North Shore people will geographically. Where Hinsdale's so much better. You can get anywhere, anytime, any place.
Yeah.
In the North Shore, you got to work your way down 41, take 294 the other way. What? You're closer to Milwaukee. Okay, you could shove that up your.
But you got the lake.
Screw the lake. You're not going out on the water.
Yeah, true. I guess so.
If anything, you're going to Lake Geneva.
Yeah. Now listen, I'm from Scumbag Hiawatha Park in the city, so I know nothing about this part, but I know what you mean.
Just a little bit of controversy. Like I'm letting everybody know. I will tell you, the South burbs are way better than the North burbs. I grew up in the North burbs. Everybody is stuck up, mean, and angry.
The people?
Yeah, the people. People actually care. Like, hey, how's your day? Like, they care about it.
Yeah.
In like in Lake Forest, Highland Park, Winnetka, Kenilworth, they don't care how your day is at all. And it's fair, because you know what? You could take your day and shove it up. I don't care. It's
I
fine.
love this. I hope this ignites a nice rivalry. I hope it's not people bitching about your picks. It's those people like, fuck you.
Hey, fuck you. I live in Skokie, asshole.
Don't you come at Glencoe, motherfucker.
Don't you? I see you up in the north, buddy.
Exactly.
Now, I will drive up north for this place in Highland Park. It's like a little diner. It's called Max and Benny's. Best soup ever.
Really?
And they didn't pay me to say this today.
What kind of soup they got?
Oh, man. They've got like all different types, from matzo ball, chicken noodle, chicken with like the vegetable pieces. I mean,
no shit.
I drive up north just to pick that up, to drive back. 45 minutes there, 45 minutes back.
Wow. I got to try this soup then.
I wouldn't lie to you. It's that good.
That's dedication.
It is. It's that good. When we get a little under the weather, like this weather type of stuff, little cold going on, go get the soup and get some bread.
No shit.
Yeah, they're a bakery too, so they make their own bread.
Max and Benny's?
Max and Benny's.
Max and Benny's. Fuck, that's an endorsement.
Speaking of restaurants, have you been to Galucci yet?
No, but that's the place. Like you are very passionate about it, I know.
And I'm gonna tell you something. So one of my good friends opened it. I send everybody there. I sent Tim Anderson there yesterday. Mm-hmm. You should see the messages him and his friend sent me. Place was unbelievable. Best food they've ever had in Chicago. I highly recommend going.
Good, because I know you said to send Dave there for a pizza review.
The fact that he hasn't gone there yet, it's the best pizza.
Yeah. Well, here's
period. Woodfire. It's not his type of pizza.
I know, but what is it? Is it
Woodfire?
Neapolitan. So it's like Neapolitan. Okay. Yeah, it's not his type because I know he usually.
He's an East Coaster.
Yes,
it's
exactly.
Okay.
But here's what's been bothering me now is you guys like Chicago pizza?
Yeah.
Like the standard squares and like.
So I won't lie to you. I'm deep dish over like the Chicago square pizza.
Okay.
But I'll tell you, I'm New York pizza over Chicago pizza.
Okay, that's fine. I'm not saying whatever. I'm not saying one or the other. I'm saying now, but when you're here, like he's going to all these New York places, and it's like I don't want that to become like a standard. I don't want that to push out our tradition, our square.
Elmwood Park.
Yeah.
I was like, finally, someone's driving them in like the right direction.
Yes.
Yeah, you got to get them in like the Italian neighborhoods. Yes. You know what I mean? Like I
don't do it no more. I'm out because the people are so crazy about it.
What happened? Like were people attacking you?
Oh my God, people were so mad. How the fuck?
You didn't bring him over here? What the?
You mean you brought him there instead of the place that's down the block from me and my family that I've been going to for years? It's like, bro, everyone's got a place like that.
Yeah, you know, and I get that. That is. I know it gets that crazy, but between you and I, Dave needs to expand his horizons a little bit and go to some places that, aren't New York.
Yeah.
Or East Coast.
That's the thing. Like now he comes here and he does mostly New York style in Chicago. It's like, well, that's not really what
and
we're
this narrative
respectfully.
This narrative that him and I look alike is actually bothering me.
Wait, people say that to you?
Oh my fucking God, dude.
Really?
People come. Anyone ever say that you and Dave look alike? I said, just because we have big noses does not mean we look alike.
There's no
There's no correlation between big nose and Dave Portnoy and I. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. I don't like this narrative.
Yeah. Well,
going around.
A couple zeros in the bank account. You guys have similar, but
no, he could be my sugar daddy. It's fine. I'll be the broke boyfriend. It's fine.
No, that's funny. I don't even know where the fuck we were, but I love it.
Talk, which I did hit plus 440.
Oh, so that was plus 44.
Stanford,
that was plus 6. That was 60-1 at one point that game. Mm-hmm. But long story short, if you watched that game, that was a game that you could jump in live and probably hit.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Like, because they were plus the points, and when you're live wagering like that, I would like to tell people, if you're going to live wager a big dog on a comeback, take the plus points as the insurance, and then take the money line too.
Yeah.
And then all these new books now offer adjusted spreads. If you don't have the balls to take the money line, when they were down 29-0, and if you took plus 7.5, it paid 30-1.
And to be honest with you, it going legal, that's been one of my favorite things, is just having the instantaneous
boom
live lines is so awesome.
You know what the most toxic thing in the world though is a cash out offer.
Oh yeah.
You just stare at it.
Yeah.
You just stare at it. Look at my phone's battery. It's like 3% for your kids today. 17,000% on cash out offers because I'm just refreshing.
You gotta tell them about like one cash out offer that just kind of like didn't work out, but then it worked out.
Oh, so when I hit one of my $3 million parlays, this is a great story. I was watching the cash out offer go from. So I made a plus 700 on the Vikings. They were down 31-0. They came back and won. This was last year. Long story short, the cash out offer got all the way up to $2.5 million. And it was paying a total of 2.85 at the time. And I said, fuck I want the whole thing.
We were at his house.
I watched the game just swing, and I'm like, holy fuck. I turned down. It went from 2.5 to 2.1, 2.1 to 1.4, 1.4 to 600, 600 to 100, 100 to 21,000. You want to be on suicide watch? That was a quick fucking way to do it. But what I'll tell you is that was the game where the Patriots threw the ball backwards, and the Raiders, Chandler Jones, right?
Yes.
Chandler Jones grabs the ball, pushes down Mac Jones, runs back for a touchdown, and they win the game. And I ended up winning that money. That was the craziest swing of my life. I literally needed 20 milligrams of edibles to put myself to bed that night. Could not function.
The cash out offer, man.
That's what. Put it this way, I've watched over 100 games with him.
Yeah.
He has never, ever taken the cash out.
Ever.
This was the one time where I saw complete defeat in his face, his posture, everything. He's like, I gotta get up, I gotta go sit over here. He's sitting, he's shuffling cards.
Yeah, I was just shuffling cards. It's like a nervous twitch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's so funny. I picture, like, you know, that meme where it's like, oh, he's thinking about other girls, and I picture like alley-oop, and it's like he's really thinking about the cash out offer. You know, he's not thinking about other girls.
My wife will be like,
yeah.
What are you doing? And I'm like, nothing. She's like, you look real distracted. I'm like, yeah, because I'm fucking pissed off about the game that I lost last night, okay? You want to talk about why Mac Jones sucks and got a safety? Because my buddy lost a ton of money on that yesterday, and I feel I was so hurt for that safety that my friend lost on, because he had plus 3.5 for the Patriots, and that safety put him down 5. So
yeah,
that hurt.
That's awful. That was a tough one for a lot of people, for sure. Now, so what was like the first big one though? Because I think I remember, what was it, like 2019? You started really kind of rising.
2019.
Yeah.
First big one was a Monday night final leg for $1 million parlay. I remember I deposited $100,000 to start the football year. The Bulls were playing their opening night against the Pistons. I put all $100,000 on the Bulls to win. I got $60,000 profit. I took the $60,000 profit, took half of it, and put it on a parlay. And the final leg was Browns, and it was Carson Wentz and Dearness Johnson as the running back to go and win. And I cannot believe it, but they actually won.
Yeah.
And I won $1.2 million that night. And where it really kind of took off wasn't because of that one win.
But were you posting this? Is this why?
Everyone knew.
So okay, so everyone was like, oh, like, you know.
How the fuck?
Yeah. Who's the car guy? He's a better.
You know what happened? BR Betting took over, and Bleacher Report, they jumped in and they filmed everything live. Mm-hmm. Drake jumped into my the live after I won. Turned into a thing like, congratulations, Marco, you just won $1.2 million. How you feeling? Champagne Poppy pops up. Congrats, my guy. And then he followed me, and then people saw that, and they're like, oh, Drake follows him. Like, he's legit. And I was like, well, I was legit before Drake followed me. I want everyone to freaking know that, okay? Yeah. Like, I wasn't some broke asshole, all right? So, but no, where it really turned up is that night, they filmed me, Bleacher Report. Marco, congratulations, you just won. What's your next move? Who's winning the Super Bowl? I said, I'm taking $100,000, and I'm betting the Los Angeles Rams to win the Super Bowl. October, all documented. Boom, in person, face, camera, everything. And everybody insulted me, made fun of me, and said I was wrong. And then they won the Super Bowl that year, and then everyone's like, holy fuck. And before they won the Super Bowl, the week before that, I won another $1 million parlay. So everyone's like, dude, what the fuck? Like, who is this guy?
So it was just like a strong string of...
It was just a snowball effect of win after win after win. And I know I'm not built like that. Like, I cannot win like that all the time. But it was just a lucky point where everything was documented and there was proof, you know? Mm-hmm. And people like proof. They like to, it debunks the myth that it was built or, you know, or it was a made up ticket, you know? Because that's a lot of the times when people say, like, that ticket's edited. I'm like, I don't even know how to power up my computer without help. Like, I don't... I'm the worst technological. I have friends come over to set up my gaming computer because I don't know how to freaking do anything. So it's like when someone tells me that I know how to digitally edit something, I'm like, fuck, I wish I was that smart.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that shit either.
Yeah.
But I love those stories too. That's like, I don't know if you've ever met Megan Making Money. She's got like a similar one where like her husband had a Reddit account and he'd be like, hey, my wife's going to make the pick. And she made a pick and it won.
Okay.
And she went like 15 in a row.
What?
And like it just took off and like everyone was looking for her picks on
What's
Reddit.
she betting? What is she fucking betting?
It was, I mean, this was years ago, but she just, you know, she got hot at the right time, you know, and that happens. And
I tell everybody, it's just as hard to win every day as it is to lose every day. People that go on these losing streaks, that's just as impressive.
Yeah.
I hate to say, I know it's a dark side, but like, it's just as impressive to lose. I'd love to hear that story from her. That's amazing.
No, next time she's here, I'll talk. We'll introduce you, and it's a great story.
That's awesome.
It really is. Yeah, it was a hell of a run. But no, man. And then now you guys are independent. So Anthony's here. If you're hearing stuff, that's Anthony off camera. He's the podcast partner, right? And are you guys actually cousins?
No.
Okay.
So
all right.
I'll tell you this: we're both only children. So we're both only children. We never had brothers, never had sisters. So you know what? That's my cousin. He's my cousin. He's my brother now too.
Love it. And how do you guys know each other?
believe it or not, our families grew up together.
Oh, no shit.
So like our moms knew each other, our dads knew my uncle, like the Elmwood Park.
Oh, okay, Elmwood Park.
So my mom was born and raised in Elmwood Park. His parents were born and raised in Elmwood Park. Like it all just kind of comes together.
Okay, all right.
That's the crazy part.
Yeah, that's great. And so now you guys are together. You guys were doing a show for Better, right?
Doing a show for Better. Decided to take it private, go on our own. No bad blood there. Just it was the best thing for us to do was to say, you know what, we're gonna go do this on our own. And now we're rocking it. We launched our first episode as ourselves, just us, and it went really good. We got over 2,000 subs on our first show. Okay. We got over 20,000 views first show. Like it was just a perfect storm, perfect storm for us.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, just going independent. And what's like, so what do you like want to do, Mark? Like, what is it? Just like you want to do content? Like, obviously, you still always be in the car game, but
so I'm never going to leave the car business. Yeah. This whole thing for me is a hobby that I love, and it's where my true passion is. Sports is my passion. It's like it's what I genuinely love to do every day. Like when you saw me come in, I had to go shoot the basketball. Like, I'm a child at heart. Like I saw the dartboard. I almost started throwing darts, but I felt like people were staring at me. So I'm like, all right, maybe I shouldn't do this. Yeah. But I just want to. My goal is kind of what I told you off camera. I want to find a partner that's willing to help me with production and booking talent. I don't need, like I told you, this is not about money. I don't mind taking corporate money. Like if I get a sponsorship I own a Chevy store, but Chevrolet comes and says, hey, we want to give you $100,000 for your show. I would love to take that money, use it towards guests, use it towards promoting the show. And then if it starts doing better and better, then I could just not live off that money, but I'll just take some of that money. Like I don't need a company salary. I don't need I don't need that. I just want partnership, which in turn turns to friendship, which turns to good times and like watching games as a group and being in the environment. And we did a live show in Kentucky. It was the most exhilarating thing I've ever done. I loved it. There was about 500 people there. It was about
that's like that's what we want to do. We want to be in front of people, kind of getting people really hyped up.
Yeah.
Really into sports, really into what we're doing. We love everyone, man. We love people.
Eddie, there's nobody better in front of a crowd than I would say our personality.
Yeah.
Because I just know how to get everybody rolling.
Sure.
I know how to fire up the people and get them
some people are great at that.
Yeah.
I could see you guys have that energy.
Yeah,
for sure.
I just know how to get in front of people and just perform.
Yeah.
No matter what I've done, I played in a celebrity basketball game, which I'm like a Z-list celebrity in Chicago, I call it. So the lowest tier celebrity you could possibly be. And I knew I needed to perform that day. I scored 24 points. I crushed it. Everybody's like, who the fuck is this guy? What the hell? When the lights go on, I'm ready to go. Period. Always.
There you go, man. Well, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I'm sure cars and to have turned into this and it's become such a cool journey, cool ride.
Yeah, it's just that's our goal.
Yeah. Well, shout out to you guys, man. I hope I'll be watching.
Eddie, I want you to know we are your biggest fans.
Oh, no shit.
I brag about you. I brag about you more than you would ever know.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, I love everything you do. It's pure, it's sincere, and it's Chicago at heart. And I'm gonna tell you something. For us, we love this city, and we love that.
Yeah.
We love that you're repping it.
That's truly the best compliment I could receive because that's I just want to represent and to hear from someone like that, I appreciate that a lot.
You want to laugh? I said, what happened is Barstool did some restructuring, and Eddie told Dave, either you're going to move the corporate office to Chicago, or we're going to have a problem. Yeah. Dave got nervous, said we're going to move it to Chicago. I don't want a problem with Eddie.
That's it. But no, guys, I appreciate that. And like I said, I'm watching you guys too, so that's awesome. I just like to have more of this here because it's all New York, it's all LA, Miami. There's just not enough in this city, so it's great that you guys are here doing this.
Are these people all from different areas?
All from different areas now, man.
Wow.
It has become Miami, Tennessee, LA, Indiana.
Wait, is LA Red Hat?
He's Indiana.
He's Indiana. Man, he looks LA.
He lived in LA for 10 years.
He looks like LA.
Yeah. He's
if LA looked like somebody, I'd be that guy right there.
That's Mark Titus, if you're listening. So he lived in LA for 10 years. So you're right.
Love that.
You're right. No, for sure. But no, it's great. Then where can people find the show and everything?
We're rebranding our show. It's gonna be all our Instagram handle will be cousins.allin. Okay. Will be our Instagram handle, and then our YouTube page will be the same thing. We're going to switch it over.
Got a timer here for parking. All right. Go follow them. Go do everything.
We appreciate it. Yeah, no, you'll find us. You can come find me at my page, Marco Piemonte.
Appreciate you so much,
Of course, man. No, thank you guys. We got to run this back, and next time you'll hop in too. We'll get it. We'll do it monthly or something, quarterly or something. We'll just
listen, I'm in.
get the guys together. I like it.
Before the NFL season.
You know what we could do? Maybe the next episode we'll film, and I'll bring you to the pizza spot.
Oh, that's great.
We'll film it there.
Oh, I love that.
I'll have them bring the pizza while we're live on cam.
That'd be amazing.
Done deal.
I'd love to experience a Sunday with you too in the
buddy.
the
You're
Piemonte household.
You're invited.
Seeing the action.
You're invited anytime.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Anytime.
Seeing you with the deck. I would want to be on a bad day. I don't want to see you, shuffling cards.
You know what? If I have $1 million parlay, you're coming.
Okay.
If I have one pending and there's like 1 or 2 legs left,
all right,
I'm coming to pick your ass up. You're going to be in it.
Sweet. I'm in. That'd
Deal.
be great.
Love it.
Awesome. All right, you guys are great, man. Thanks for coming in again.
Thanks, Eddie. You're the man.
That's it, everybody. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. That's it for this week. We'll be back on Monday. We'll see you then.